something done with my hair. So we were talking about his NDE, and he was trying to get the cord, the silver cord that attaches your soul to your body, and he couldn't get a hold of it. So he's trying to get it and trying to grab it. It keeps just floating right out of his reach, and then he feels his astral body going into his physical body, but he's going in from head to head. And he's thinking, no, I'm going in the wrong way. You're putting me in the wrong way. And he goes in, and he felt like
he's upside down in his body.
Upside down. And he said, oh, I just felt like the body was just so tight and heavy and gooey. And he couldn't quite get his body, his astral body, into his physical body. And for months afterwards, he said his baby toe felt like it wasn't quite out, like if you had your finger in a wet glove and you couldn't get it out. So
that's
after
bizarre.
Yeah. So it was like this reminder, like this really did happen.
Oh, wow.
So he was so excited, and he's telling all these people about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna walk while we're
Sure.
He's telling people, and they're just like, yeah, sure, George, sure, you need help. And his father and all of his uncles and aunts, they were all doctors and psychiatrists and everything, and they sent him to the psychiatrist. He goes, I'm not crazy. This really happened. And then he just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Because people just,
It's quite common.
yeah, he just stopped talking about it. One of the experiences that he had while he was on the other side, he was shown his life and pretty big, crucial things that were going to happen. And what he explained to me was that something would happen, and then afterwards it would be like, that was one of the things that was talked about, like a deja vu thing. Or he would try to tell you something like, Carrie, I know that you're going to go, and then all of a sudden it was like this door that would just come down and shut, and he's like, no, I almost had it. So he had those experiences all his life, and it was, it was kind of annoying because he couldn't.
Right. He'd have little glimpses, and then it would just, the memory was, yeah.
But at the very end of his life, is this it? He was sitting around, and I think I told you before that he started painting a lot of things gold.
Yeah.
He said he was sitting on the couch, and he looks at it, and he goes, I remember now. I was told I was going to be surrounded by gold at the end of my life. Wow. So, pretty cool. Yeah.
And you want to tell me where George's ashes are?
George loved hot cocoa every night. Nestle's Quick, to be precise. And he is in a large Nestle's Quick jar.
He sure is.
With hot cocoa on the top, or not hot cocoa, but the cocoa powder on the top.
Oh, you actually put the cocoa powder on top of the ashes?
I did.
Oh.
As requested.
Okay.
So there's a lot more of the sculptures in here.
Oh, yeah, there really are.
These are before he started painting things. And I believe,
Oh, that's really beautiful.
as I was saying, some of them got a little destroyed by the temperature changes, but this was one of the crystal cities that he saw. And I have to do some repairs on that.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
And then there's another one up top that's the same type thing. These are all these crystal cities that he was talking about and trying to put them in 3D.
I bet that's where he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then all of these paintings. Here's the an example of the, I don't know if you can get in there, but
Not
of his dreams of, he had a dream series with Jackson Pollock.
Oh, yeah?
And we had watched the movie about his life, and George was really thinking about it a lot. And he was like, there's nothing to this. Why is he so famous? And he started having dreams for 2 weeks. Every night he had a dream with Jackson Pollock.
What?
And so Jackson Pollock was like, yeah, you think it's easy? You try it. So here's some more in here. So he had his
incredible
own twist to it. And these are all a series just based on his conversations with Jackson Pollock. Yeah, pretty cool.
George
This
is
really
pretty
beautiful.
cool.
Really beautiful, beautiful stuff.
So it just isn't doing any justice in these storage units. We've got to
No,
find a
it's really
place
not.
to have his work displayed, and I think I have some ideas.
Like this one was,
Oh,
this is all acrylic.
yeah. Now
And it-
that is brilliant. It's very Rubik's Cubey,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see all the dimensions in it. I wonder if that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have to decide what we're going to put into the auction.
This is leaning up here pretty tight. I'm gonna put something in between it, and this looks terrible, but I just noticed it. I had to have people come over here and move this. I've been moving for a couple of weeks, as you know, months.
Yeah, I do know.
So this is 2 of the units. Do you want to see the other 2?
I mean,
is
I
this
think
good?
they pretty much say what it is, and I do have some other, like I said, videos of his stuff that we can kind of put into this video. But as we...
The gold ones are right over here. If you want to see them. But what else can I tell you about George? He's pretty. He's passionate about everything he did.
When did George start getting into painting? Like, did he paint as a child? I mean, he was born
did.
in what, Mexico City?
He was born in Mexico City
Uh-huh.
and educated in British boarding schools. He went to. He put himself through Harvard and
Oh,
San
wow.
Francisco. He went to University of Milan and he went to University of Mexico City too, all in architecture and design.
What were the 7 languages he spoke?
English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, a little bit of Arabic. What was the other one?
Pig Latin?
No, that was me.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Oh,
expert,
he
the
spoke-
romance language.
he
that
spoke
was
the
me.
language of love.
He did speak the language.
Speaking
love.
of which, what is the pink story?
Oh, when
Do you
we
want to share that
met-
with people, or is that too
no,
personal?
that's wonderful. When we first met, it was at a party, and my client was like, "You have to meet George. You have to meet George." So, I went to this party, and I didn't see him the whole time. And my mom was with me. She was visiting, so she says, let's go. So that's fine. And the hostess comes over and says, "Oh, you have to meet George. You haven't seen him yet." I said, "Yeah, where is this guy? You were telling me all about him."
The imaginary
So
George.
The imaginary George. So she calls him over, and my mom, we used to call her Endora because she's very psychic, but she's really, I know this guy.
Mm.
So he comes over to the circle of people. We're all saying goodbye at the end of the party, and it was just like in the movies where like there's a cloud and everybody else fades into the distance.
Wow.
And it was just he and I just reached my hand out to say hello and shake his hand. But of course it came out like, because I lost all sense of myself. There was a pink tunnel that went from me to him. And I was just mesmerized. I've never had anything happen like that before. And I thought, I'm having a stroke or something.
What was in the punch?
It was like there's something neurologically wrong with me. And he was just very elegant, and he shook my hand. He said, "Hello, how do you do?" And I was like, blah, 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 and I walked out. And as I'm walking away, I'm just shaking my head thinking, man, that was
Like,
weird.
what was that? Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, George had followed me to the door and was standing there watching me walk away. And the woman that he had brought to the party, hereinafter known as the Tart, was standing there, and she goes, "Are you going to go out with her?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am."
Wow.
And so my mom gets home, we get back to my house, and she's sitting outside, and she used to smoke at the time. She had a very peculiar way of smoking, and we'd always make fun of her. And she goes, "You watch, that George guy's going to call you." It's like, "Nah, he's not going to call me." And the phone rang.
And you hadn't given him your number.
I had not given him my number.
Okay.
And he called, and in the background we were listening to Click and Clack on NPR. It was this stupid thing about cars, and sometimes people would write in with their dumb songs, and there was some hillbilly song on the background. And I covered up the phone and I said to my mom, turn that off. He's going to think we're a bunch of hicks. And when he gets back on the phone, he goes, oh, you don't like country music? I said, no, it's fine. I'm more of a jazz fan myself. And you could hear this sigh of relief. So he was asking me out for coffee. I couldn't go because my mom is in town. And how about lunch? No, my mother's in town. How about dinner? My mother's in town. I can't go. So we ended up going from a coffee date to a dinner date. And he just blew me away. When I saw him up on the stairs, he was dressed in his Armani suit, this fabulous Roncalli tie, and he smelled so good. Oh my God.
So handsome.
So handsome. And just introduced himself in this very old world way. Like here, my parents did this and that and where I lived. And the whole time I'm like, this guy's really smart. He's really, really smart.
Like scary smart.
And I'm becoming exponentially dumber as the
Oh,
conversation
shoot.
went on. I was reduced towards like, gee, wow, cool.
Well, come on, he wouldn't have been interested in you if you were dumb blonde.
it was pretty funny. But I did know the word synesthesia, believe it or not. He said he was an artist, and I asked him what kind of art do you do? What do you base it on? And he said he bases it on his synesthesia. And I actually went, I know what that is.
Like you raised your hand?
Like I raised And he looked at me kind of like a little dubious. And I had just read about it in a science magazine that I used to read. And so we went to see his art that day.
Wow. The same art we're looking at.
The same art we're looking at. Yeah, pretty amazing. So I loved it. It made me I was just overwhelmed. He was a tour de force for sure.
A tour de force?
A tour de force.
A tour de force. So, but how did he get into painting after all that?
Oh, he got into painting when he was very young. I think he always had painted. He always had a sketchbook with him and has always painted. So there's a whole progression. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and she's known me for about 30 years, and she said, it's just lovely to watch the progression of his work and the different phases that he went through, such as the Pollock phase. And then he had a lot of the things I have in my office here in Novato are more current, and it's more of the spatial kind of swirly stuff.
Nice. All right, well, let's go look at his gold stuff.
Okay.
By the way, your outfit matches the storage units.
I don't interview well.
You interview great. I hope you did that on purpose.
No, I did not. It is. That's gross.
No, it looks really good on camera, especially with the sky, the ominous looking sky behind you. So how many storage units do you have his stuff in? Like 4? Oh, this is a big one.
This one also has the car in it, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
Which
that
is
makes
another
sense.
work of art.
Yes. Ah. Now what kind of car is this? Oh yeah, I know this one. You bring this to dance class sometimes.
This is the NSX.
NSX. Sweet. Gorgeous. Oh, and some guitars.
Yes, ma'am.
Those are the ones that are going to go to the kids, the Aragon Foundation. Sweet. This is neat.
Yeah, these are all the silver and gold and.
Now, I know Evelisa wanted one for the studio, so well, maybe I can show her this video and see which one she wants to bring in. This is really cool. I like this one quite
Isn't
a
that
bit.
gorgeous?
Yeah, it's like Helix, DNA, Snake. Yeah, I wonder what he was listening to on this one. Wow. The way it's catching light's super cool.
Oh, it's not on
Not on
some
the
of them-
spinner.
Some of them have the spinner.
So these were black, and then towards the end of his life, he just went in and just spray painted the heck out of them with gold.
Gold and silver, yeah.
My grandfather spray painted everything gold. Look at these are like the Stairway to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
Isn't that stunning?
that's really beautiful. It's like a stairway. Mm.
This is what it's called.
Maybe he designed the Crystal City.
This is the ZX2 tower over here.
ZX2. He's a piece of work of art. Oh, this is neat. Yeah, these need to be properly displayed somewhere. For sure. Oh, well, Charity, is there anything last thing you want to say about the interview, or?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. It does my heart good that someone's interested and to see this.
Yeah.
Because I think it needs to be appreciated.
It really does.
It really does.
Yeah. All right, amazing. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Carrie.